Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Lauren and today I am doing this red lip glam festive look. So if you're interested in seeing how I've created this look and the products that I use, please keep watching. So because I'm going to do a more matte skin today, I'm very particular in making sure that I use more hydrating products on my skin before putting the foundation on because I don't want to look too flat. Just going to start off by using the Ordinary moisturiser. This is my most used everyday moisturiser anyway, so just pop a bit of that on my fingers and then on top of that I'm going to go in with the Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Face Primer. So just use a couple of pumps of that on the back of my hand. So that's my skin primed. Now, unpopular opinion, I'm not actually a massive fan of the Ole Henriksen skincare. I just find it's far too fragranced and yeah, just don't love it. But this primer I really do like. It does have some kind of tiny bits of glittering, but you really can't see it on the skin. And I just feel like it makes my skin look really smooth and obviously brighter. So I'm going to go in with the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation in the shade Vanilla. Because it is a matte foundation, I'm going to go in with my beauty blender and put that all over the face. So now that the foundation's cancelled out all of the redness in my skin, obviously I look deathly pale and basically dead. So I'm going to go in with, and this is an unnecessary step but I am just obsessed with it, the NYX Born to Glow concealer in the shade Cappuccino. And I'm basically going to use this to sort of like, not cream contour because it is quite warm, but sort of cream bronze, and it just brings life back to the face. So I like to keep my bronzer quite high, just to sort of stay in control and give that lifted effect to the face. Okay, so camera died, but I have used that concealer on this side and up on my forehead, so you can see that it's just bringing some more shape back to my face. But then I'll show you on this side how I blended it in. This brush is really embarrassingly tatty, but it's basically just a Real Techniques, I think it's like a contour brush. So what I'm doing is I'm just popping the concealer on where I want it, and then I'm going to use the brush and just be really gentle and take my time just to blend it nicely into the skin. So I'm just sort of pushing it into the skin, but also I'm just being careful. So I'm going towards the hairline, so I've not got like a white line there, but also when I come down here, I'm just being careful that I'm not dragging it downwards. And then it's blended out there nicely. I mean, this concealer blends out so beautifully. It's really, really lovely to work with, and it's so smooth on the skin as well. Just in case you put too much on and you weren't happy with how it was looking or whatever, you could go back in with the blender that you've used for your foundation and just pat over the top, and it'll just, you know, blend it back in and bring it back to be a little bit more, you know, subtle. Okay, so if I'm doing cream contour, I'll always do that first, because when I do the concealer under my eyes, I need to set that basically straight away, just because I'm old and wrinkly. I am going in with the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Fair Neutral. I'm not putting loads of this on. It is really brightening and it is a good full coverage concealer. So just little bits, and then I'm actually going to blend it out with a brush. So just 3 little dabs under my eyes, and then I can then blend it down slightly as well. And I'm going to go in with this Zoeva 124 concealer buffer brush. So it's just quite a dense little brush, and just start to blend it out with that. Concealer's done under the eyes and on the lid, and I've just set it with the Laura Mercier loose translucent setting powder, which is my always go-to. For highlighter, so I'm going to go in with Cookie by Benefit, and just take that up on my cheeks. In circular motions. I love highlighter. And then same on the other side. I just feel like when you use a big fluffy brush like this and you really buff it in circular motions, you get a much more sort of natural look than a stripe across your face. I'm also just going to pop that above my brow bone. On each side. With my nose and on the bridge. And above my Cupid's bow. Fab. Then I'm going to go in with bronzer. Kind of a bit backwards for me actually, because I normally highlight last, but I feel like it all blend in better together if I go in with bronzer and blusher after, and I can always top up the highlight where needed. So just taking this Real Techniques 300 gorgeous fluffy brush and going in with Benefit Hoola. So I've got this fab palette here, which has got the highlight and the bronzer and some blushes and stuff in. It's the Cheek Leaders Bronze Squad palette. It's stunning. So popping that on my brush and then just going over where we've used that concealer and done that cream bronze. This brush is absolutely gorgeous and it's so fluffy, so you can go in so light-handed, you know, so if you don't want crazy bronzer, I mean I love to be bronzed, but if you don't want heavy bronzer, then you know you can be really subtle with this brush and just go in with a really light hand. And then I'll just slightly bronze the bottom of my face. I've also popped some bronzer down my nose, not massively to contour, just so it doesn't look like it's not on my face anymore because it's so pale. Then I'm going to go in with blush, and the blush that I am using is this one by Nars, called Lustre, and it's just this gorgeous like orangey tone, with it has actually got like some gold flecks in it, and it's beautiful. Take my Sigma F10 brush and pop some of that on my cheeks. I didn't want to go in with anything too pink, because we're doing a red lip. I just thought it might clash a little bit, so swirl my brush in there and just pat that onto my cheeks. I like to go up my bronzer area with it as well. I am obsessed with blush. I cannot live without it. I always put a little bit more on just because it's the first thing to go. So that's all the powder's done on my face. Obviously, I've not set down the foundation. The only places that I've put the powder are where I've put concealer. So all the bronzed areas on my eyelids and underneath the eyes to set the concealer in place. The foundation, because it's matte, has just set itself down. I'm just going to use my MAC Fix Plus. Spray that all over my face just to melt all the powders in together so I don't look too crazy matte. Go in with the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. Mine's a bit messed up. And I'm just gonna do nothing crazy, just a wing and a bit of like a bronzed crease because I want the focus to be on the lips in this and nothing too crazy. So I'm gonna go in with the Sigma E35 tapered blending brush. And I'm just going to go in with this shade in the palette here, this one. And just put that in the crease. And the same on the other side, obviously. Make sure that's nice and blended. Then I'll go in with a slightly smaller brush. I'll take the Luxe Soft Definer 227 by Zoeva, and I'll go in with a slightly darker shade. In fact, I'm going to go in with quite a bit of a darker shade and go in with this brown here, but I'm just going to go in with a really light hand and just take that in the crease as well, just to build up the depth. Bringing it down on that outer corner. Just going to spend my time and blend that out so it's not looking too harsh. Just small circular motions. And then I'll do the same on the other eye. I'm going to do a winged liner like we said, and I'm using the NYX Epic Ink Liner, but I am going to use it actually with a Zoeva winged liner brush, just because I just find it a lot easier to control and I'm less likely to make mistakes this way, whereas if I go in with a pen and then I slip or something, well then I'm screwed. So I literally just get the brush on the end of the pen and take the ink off that way. Ink, the liner, whatever you want to call it. So I really coat my brush in that, and then I'll start to draw it across the eye. I'm not going to do a close-up of this because I'm not amazing at it, and we all have our own way of doing liner, so just stick with what you find easiest. So I'll just keep going, dipping back and forth between coating my brush with the liner and creating that shape on my eye, and then I'll go across and do the other eye as well. So I've done my wing liner. I'm not gonna lie, it's not the best wing liner I've ever done, but we'll deal with it. Then I'm gonna go in with just a tiny Morphe brush that looks like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the black from the palette and I'm just going to smudge that liner just to give it a bit more of like a smoky vibe. So packing that black onto my brush and then just popping it on top of the liner and just smudging those edges so it doesn't look too crisp and clean on the top. So I'll do the same on the other side, but what I'm also going to do is I'm going to take another sort of same kind of angled brush, and I'm just going to get a little bit of concealer and just clean that up a little bit on the flip side. Literally the world's tiniest bit of concealer on that brush just to neaten that line up. I mean, the other way that you could do it is you could do the eyes first, and then you could just run a baby wipe under there and then do your skin. But if you like to do your skin first, then this is a great way to just neaten up that liner. There we go, that looks so much better now. And then I'll just go in with a tiny bit of powder just to set that little bit of concealer down. And then, like I say, I'll do the same on the other eye, and I'm going to do my brows off camera, but I will show you what I'm using. So I'm going to use the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in the shade Espresso, and I'm also going to use the NYX Control Freak. This is just their clear brow gel, and they're my favourites. So I'll pop off camera, smoke out this eye, clean it up, do my brows, and then we'll be back ready to do lips. So brows are done and set in place. Now, I said before we'll come back and do the lips, but that was ridiculous because the eyes are still only half done. So I'm going in with this Zoeva 230 pencil brush, and I'm just going to take one of the lightest shades in the palette to do some inner corner highlight and to highlight the brow bone. So I think I'll just go in with the very first shade here. I don't know any of the shade names. I think they came on a plastic sheet, but that's well gone by now. So into the inner corner. Go back in with one of the blending brushes and just make sure that that's still nice and blended, and that the highlight's not trying to take over. Okay, so now we just need to do underneath the eye, and I get a little bit of this Primark, it's just a brown kohl pencil, and I'm just going to go slightly under the lower lid with that, and then blend it out using the two shades that I used on my upper lid. I don't want to bring it down too far, but just a little bit of drama. A little bit of that pencil under the eyes, and then I'll go in now and blend it out. I'm going to go in with a slightly smaller, denser brush than what I used on the top, just because I don't want to bring it down too far and be too crazy. And I'll just blend that out. Just take the time to blend it out. There, that's better. I always massively neglect my under eye. I couldn't spend ages doing like a hugely dramatic eye look, and then the under eye gets like 2 seconds just so probably need to work on that. So I'm just going to pop some mascara on, and then we'll use some false lashes. The mascara that I'm using, I don't have any amazing mascaras right now that I'm completely in love with. I need to find something. So I'm just going to go in with this Primark False Lash Queen mascara, and then I'm going to pop on these unicorn lashes in the shade Peachy Pie. I'm not going to do that on camera because you just wet yourself at how just ridiculous I am putting lashes on. So I'll do that, and then I'll show you the finished eye look, and then we can get on to the best part, in my opinion, the red lip. Okay, so lashes are on, mascara's done, bottom mascara, now just time for lips. So this, everyone will have their own favourite red lipstick, and this is mine, and if you've never tried one before, then I massively recommend this one. So this is the MAC Retro Matte Liquid Lip Colour in Feels So Grand, and honestly, oh gosh, you can't really see it very well because the sun's shining on it. Honestly, like, it's so beautiful, and I never thought that I would go with something so bold back when I first discovered this, but I tried it on and I loved it. So there you go. So I'm going to start off with the liner. It's a NYX liner, a NYX retractable lip liner in the colour red. So there we go. So I'll just go around and line my lips. So I've lined my lips and now pop the lipstick on. So there we go, the red lips. So I just really take my time putting red lipstick on, just because it's hard to sort out. If you start getting it all over your face, then yeah, it's really difficult to then get off. I'm just going to switch my ring light on actually, and just so you can see it better. I feel that like the lighting's gone really funny. This is the finished look. I just think this look is classic, and especially with the festive season coming. Where I am at the minute, in the northwest of England, we are, you know, in a local lockdown, but hopefully over Christmas we'll be allowed to meet up with someone, or, you know, you could be having Zoom catch-ups with all your friends or whatever, and I just love doing makeup just to cheer me up anyway. So yeah, this is the finished look. I hope you like it. Like, please give this video a thumbs up if you do like it. Please subscribe. I'm going to try and post 3 times a week from here forward, and if you've got any video suggestions, then leave me a comment down below. But thanks so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Bye.